my mom and I went to a bookstore, and I don't know if you guys you probably know this. Bookstores in England and like Europe, anywhere that's not America, you can probably hear that, but it's okay. We're gonna get through this together. I was saying this, but you probably didn't hear me. The books in England or like Europe or like Ireland, anywhere that's not America, they're so much prettier. Their covers are so much prettier. So there were a couple of books that I really wanted to get, but I haven't bought them. There's books that I've already read that I haven't gotten them because I didn't want them. I didn't want to get them with ugly covers because I don't want to like later on see a different version of the same book and want to buy it. So I'm going to show you what my mom got first because she wants you to see what she got. So my mom got this Irish Blessings. May your days be many and your troubles be few. It's a little book of Irish blessings, which is so stinking cute. It's so stinking cute. Look how pretty. First of all, it's like green, white, and orange, which is so cute. And then this is the table of contents. And it's just basically like these little blessings, which is just so cool. And then my mom got this Puzzle of Ireland, which I kind of convinced her to get because she was looking at the different puzzles and I was like, this is really cute. Isn't that so stinking cute, guys? Oh, you can see your reflection in there.
Super cute.
Super cute. Okay, so there's that. And then Mom also got this bookmark. It is Believe in Yourself by Ashley Rice. Is that so cute? Okay, so now those are my mom's books. Let's talk about the books I got, because I'm so excited. So I'm going to start with the most obvious one, which you kind of got a sneak peek of, which is Intermezzo by Sally Rooney, which I've been raving about this book since I read it in my last wrap-up, but I wanted a copy so bad, and I was waiting to get it, because the one that's in America is yellow, and I don't like that one. I mean, I like it. I think it's a cute cover, but I wanted between the two, I wanted this one, and since I knew it was coming here, I held off. And then I realized I shouldn't buy it in England, I should buy it in Ireland. So I got this, and it's so cool. I literally bought a Sally Rooney book from Sally Rooney's country. The back, isn't that so cool? Chess piece, and then the dog. Oh, so cool. I'm gonna reread this book at some point, for sure. For sure, I'm gonna read this. Okay, so this is the first one I got. Sneak peek for my next reading vlog is that I'm gonna read the 3 books that I bought today that I have not read yet, because I know I said I wasn't gonna buy any more. Giovanni's Room by James Baldwin, which I read this a long time ago, and I actually read this back in like 2022, I think, and I was reading it at the same time as reading A Little Life and a couple of other sad books, and I ended up crying in like a public place because I was so overwhelmed with how sad these books were. But I love this book so much, and I've been meaning to reread it as well. The text is very small, but I love this cover, and then you see a picture of James Baldwin on the back. So I'm really happy I got my hands on this because I really love this cover, and it's such a small book too. I'm gonna reread this for sure. So there's that one, and then I think I'm gonna be talking about this in my wrap up because I read this early December. I listened to the audiobook, and the audiobook is really good actually. Perfume by Patrick Suskind. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that. I read this recently. It's about this guy. He's born without like any sort of human smell or odor. Like the best way I can describe it to you is that like he just smells as if he doesn't smell as if he doesn't exist. And so as he grows older, he becomes more and more obsessed with like scents, and he gets really attuned to like identifying different scents, and then he becomes a murderer. As you can tell, the story of a murderer. And then the 3 books that I got that I haven't read yet, which I'm gonna end up reading for my reading vlog. So I have these 3, which I'm really, really excited about. I actually don't know anything about 2 of these books. So I'll go in the order of like what I know versus what I was recommended. Clockwork Orange by Anthony Burgess. I have not read this, but I've heard that it's along the lines of like Brave New World, 1984. It's very dystopian. So the next book I got is Foster by Claire Keegan. It's a very tiny book, but one of the people I follow, Carrie Can Read, she read this recently and she said it was really good. I feel like I could finish this in a sitting, so I'm gonna read this for my reading vlog as well. And finally, last but not least, I don't know anything about this book, but one of my professors in school keeps telling me to read it. It's Kairos by Jenny Erpenback. Yeah, that took me a second. But yeah, Zadie Smith has talked about it on the back. It's a doomed romance, so I'm really excited to read about this one and see what it's like. My professor has repeatedly told me to read this. That's my little haul. And then let me just show you really quickly the bookmark and stuff like that. So, he's a fun guy. Look how cute. It's a little mouse on a mushroom. And it says, and if you're wondering why I said that, it literally says, he's a fun guy on the bottom. So there's that one. And then I got 2 postcards. One of them I'm going to ship out to my friend. So I'm not going to show you actually. Because I got a little, I'll show you the stamp. But I got a little stamp. I'm going to ship it to the US from here. And hopefully she gets it because sometimes these get lost. And then I also got this one. There's different quotes by Irish authors. Which, by the way, guys, I feel so stupid because I didn't know this. But Oscar Wilde was Irish. That's my little haul. Well, me and my mom's haul. But I'm talking through them. Anyways, Kirklow Beach.
Higher than it was in the medieval period. So this wall goes down about another 3 meters. It goes down into the River Puddle, and the River Puddle is still underneath there. So you have a ditch, you have a river, and you have an enormous wall. That's very good for defense. This is a map of medieval Dublin. So these are the walls of the city. This here on this side, that's the River Liffey. So the River Liffey flows along the wall on this side. And we've just walked from this area around the castle to the gardens. And now we're just here at the Stanihurst Tower. So
lighting, but we're not here for the angle and we're not here for the lighting. I'm back in England now. I flew to England where my family lives, and well, where part of my family lives, and I got here, and then a couple days later we flew to Ireland. It was my first time there, which was just like incredible. We went to this little town called Wexford, and we also went to Dublin for a day. Like, we had one day in Dublin, but we had a couple days in Wexford. So I went to 2 bookstores there. It was the Book Central and Red Books, which I showed clips of both. I did show you guys my little haul from there. And then Red Books was a used bookstore, so I also picked up a couple books from there, which I'll show you guys. We didn't get to see Dublin as much as I would have wanted to, but what we did see was so cool. We went on a tour. So I was planning on doing a reading vlog with the new books that I picked up that I hadn't read yet, but the more I thought about it, the more I was just like, no, I'm going to stick to the ones that I talked about in that video, and I'll just hold off on reading these, or maybe I'll do a separate reading vlog. I did end up reading Foster by Claire Keegan, which is only 88 pages. It's very short and so beautiful. It's a short story, I'm pretty sure. It's just like a novella or short story, but it was so beautiful. Like, the fact that you can fall in love with these characters after 88 pages is a feat. I was explaining this to my brothers because I was just telling them how incredible it was that as I was reading this, I actually started to care about the characters in this book. So essentially, this whole story is that there's a poor Irish family that has a lot of kids, and they send one of their children, a daughter, to go and live with a different family. She goes and she lives with relatives in Wexford. Ironically, I didn't know that this was set in Wexford where I was. So stays with them for a time and things kind of unravel from there. I'm not going to tell you what happens because it is a short piece and there is somewhat of a reveal here. It's a reveal that you can kind of guess, but the way that it's communicated and the way that it happens is just, in my opinion, was really unique. I'd never read anything by Claire Keegan before, but I want to read Small Things Like These, because I actually on the train saw someone else reading Small Things Like These, and I wanted to be like, I read her book recently too, but obviously I didn't because I'm not that extroverted. Anyway, I finished this book while I was in Ireland, and it was just so beautiful. I really enjoyed this. And then finally, just a little haul of, I got a couple of used books. One of them is not here because it's the one that you guys saw me reading on the train, Beloved by Toni Morrison, which I've been wanting to pick up a book by Toni Morrison for ages, and everybody keeps telling me to read it, and I just never got around to it. That was one of the books that I picked up at the secondhand bookstore, and these are the other ones, so I'll just show you briefly. The first one is some selected poems by W.B. Yeats, and I wanted to pick this up because he's an Irish writer. I'll put that down here actually. And then I got both Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass, which I've read this one before, some picture book versions of it, but I wanted a version that I could like read and underline and stuff, because this is like a satirical novel that I've never gotten around to like reading and highlighting and kind of responding to in my own way. So I've been wanting to do that for a minute, and when I found this I was just like, wow, small, portable, great. I don't know how I'm gonna take all these books with me back to America. It's concerning, but we will figure it out. And then of course Looking Glass, because that cover goes so hard. I hate to say it, but I don't. I got Normal People by Sally Rooney, which I have read before. At that point in time when I read it, I was just like, eh. But ever since reading Intermezzo, I want to read it again and see if like the reader I am now versus the reader I was like 4 years ago, if I would like it rereading it now anyway. And also I like the story. I watched the show and I really like the show. So I wanted to own a copy. I'm sorry. Sue me. It was not expensive anyway. This is a secondhand copy. I wouldn't have bought it new, even though I was looking at it in the book center, but I wasn't gonna buy it new. So I've read Clara and the Sun and I really enjoyed that book. I listened to it on audiobook, and a lot of people talk about really liking this book. So when I saw this cover, because one thing about me, which you guys probably know by now, is I'm not going to buy a book with an ugly color. I will read it, but I will not buy it. I will not buy a book with an ugly cover unless Past Me has done it already, which in that case I don't take responsibility for actions. But yeah, so I've been wanting to get one of the, like a copy of this book because I've heard so much about it. And the only thing stopping me was all the ugly covers. Like, they're so ugly. Every other cover I've seen, like, I don't like people on my covers. I don't mind cartoon drawings, but I don't like real people on my covers. I'm sorry, I just don't. My copy of Atonement has people on the covers, and sometimes I regret buying that one. But I did buy it at a thrift shop, so it was only like $1. I did buy this from Hodges Vidgis. Hopefully I'm pronouncing it right because I practiced several times. Even all throughout Ireland, I kept saying it out loud. I'm super excited to read this, and I probably will pick the books that I have just bought. I'm probably going to read them during my time in England. As I said, I read Foster. I'm in the middle of reading Beloved, and I think I have enough to fill my time while I'm here. So very exciting development. I'm also reading Stolen Air, which you probably saw me reading on my Kindle earlier. Just wanted to take you guys along with me to Ireland because it was my first time there, and I just take so many pictures when I travel and even videos, but I never put them together to be like a coherent like story almost of what happened. And I really wanted to use the opportunity of like having doing these vlogs to do that. A lot of times when I travel, I'll usually do audio tours, like free audio tours that I find on YouTube or on like a different app. But my mom, she really likes doing like the walking tours and whatever, so she booked us one of those for Dublin, and we stayed for most of the time, but we had to kind of cut it short because we were rushing. But it was really cool because he took us through basically he took us through all the way from when the Vikings arrived in Ireland all the way to the like reconciliation after the British colonized Ireland and the like free, like the Irish people being freed and all of that. So it was really cool to see that trajectory as we were like walking along. It was like honestly like maybe a 20-30 mile radius. It was like not 30 mile, no, it was like probably like a 20 to 30 minute walk altogether, but it took about 2 hours because he would stop and obviously explain different things to us. Hopefully you found the clip that I I added in here interesting. That specific part, like as he was explaining leading up to it, I like started recording because I thought it was so cool, and I like the little map of the wall. Thank you so much for watching and being here. It's like so, it's so fun. Doing this has been so fun. Yeah, we're closing out the year very soon. I think we're like a week out from 2025, which is just so crazy to imagine. I will see you guys very soon in another video. Thank you so much as always for being here. Thank you for watching. Yeah, thank you. Happy reading, and I hope you're having really good holidays and time with family or time alone or whatever you're doing, time with friends. I've yapped long enough, so I'm going to close out the vlog here, but thank you so much for watching, and as always, I hope to see you guys in another video very soon. Bye.